And welcome back to Kings of Influence. Yeah.
What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday. It is December 26th. That means it's Kings of Influence Day. We're here with you every Wednesday at noon. My name's Epic Lloyd.
And I'm Ray William Johnson.
And it's time for us to talk about stuff that's going on the internet and that outrages us and makes us happy. That's basically what we're going to do.
Both of those things.
All of that things. Welcome if you're new. Welcome if you're old. Welcome if you're a new person who's old. Welcome if you're an old person who's new.
Yeah. We're nailing it.
Yeah, we're crushing this.
That's right.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Woo, we got a good show. Yeah. Merry
Yeah.
Christmas, everyone. So what's that number that people can text?
Yeah, we have a number you can text. You text the word Kings to the number 43506, and you'll get a text message. You'll get a text message from me and Ray saying, "Hey, we're about to go live. We're not going to try to sell you a vacuum. We're not going to try to get you to sign up for a weird newspaper newsletter. We'll just give you a quick message because we know it's hard to, sometimes reach everybody that's subscribed to the channel. So if you want to get a text when we're going live, text the word Kings to 43506, and it will all be merrier for it."
Right, and you can actually text us back too, and it comes through the app, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So all right, so we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. We're talking about Kevin Spacey and that weird video he dropped.
Oh boy.
We're talking about a couple, a prank couple who did
You know how I love pranks.
Oh yeah, a miscarriage prank.
Oh.
This is a good one.
Oh, I just already my butthole is tiny.
Oh Lord, we're talking about Macaulay Culkin.
Ooh, speaking of
a little
buttholes.
bit. Oh God, I don't know where you're headed with that one.
Starting this day off on the family-friendly podcast.
That's right. So also, pimple popping is apparently a big business on the internet. That'll be good.
Okay.
And then we get to talk about Facebook and other platforms allegedly silencing conservative voices. That'll be good. We'll talk about that one at the end.
No collusion.
But first, this podcast is brought to you by our sponsor.
Who's our sponsor?
We don't have a sponsor.
Oh, we don't have a sponsor
My
yet.
mom.
Oh, yeah, and my dad. My
Yeah.
dad does give us notes, and I appreciate them all the time. My dad gives us notes. It's good.
Unsolicited note. Do they come in the form of, hey, you guys should try this? Or do they come in the form of, you know what your problem is?
No, they're pretty good. His notes. He's a pretty perceptive dude. He lets me know. The good thing about getting notes about what you can do better is that when someone tells you you're doing something good, you can actually trust it.
That's good.
It's not
Yeah.
like surface level bullshit. So it's nice. It's nice to hear that. So yeah. What before we get started, did you have a good Christmas?
Yeah. Very first Christmas in the brand new house.
Yeah.
Kelly had her mom over, so I had sort of the mother-in-law staying with, which I know it's a cliche to hate that thing, but I actually like Kelly's mom. She's great. It's been in a couple of my sketches and stuff.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So she stayed with us for a couple of days. Kelly really, predictably so, likes Christmas trees and lights and Christmas music and all that horrible stuff
that you just hate.
Yeah, but I get to see her happy, so it's fine for me.
There you go.
What about you?
Go. We had a good Christmas. We stayed here in LA. We usually travel, so we stayed here in LA, which is LA during Christmas is really nice, as you know.
Yeah, no traffic.
I got some new toys. We got a new light in the studio here, everybody. I got a new microphone here in the studio. I got a video game. I'm trying to play video games a little bit. I know. Look at that light.
That's nice.
The Halo.
Nice. You're trying to play video games a little bit.
Yeah, I got Red Dead.
Reach for the stars, buddy.
I know. Red Dead Redemption Part 2. If anybody wants to play online, I've never played with people online in a video game, so I hear that's what the whole fun is all about, is actually interacting with people and playing. So
yeah, you guys put your gamer tag in the
put your gamer tag there. We'll play Red Dead
comments.
Redemption. So far, it's pretty good. The game? Yeah, it's kind of slow. It's a lot of riding horses in the snow right now.
It's a lot of Western. It's a Western.
Yeah.
That's what Westerns are. They're kind of slow.
Yeah.
A lot of horse riding and stuff. Well, in a week, I get to start Manuary that I was telling you about.
I can't believe this.
Yeah, January 2nd through the 31st is when I do Manuary. You guys at home, you can do it with me if you want.
Manuary. No drinking, no caffeine.
No drinking, no smoking weed, no caffeine, no soda.
Okay.
I might do no processed sugar too. Why not? No candy and sweets. And I got to work out every day for at least 20 minutes, even if it's just cardio. That's Manuary.
But just cardio is a workout. If you just do cardio, it's not just cardio. It's just cardio.
No, I know. But some people because I've had pushback on this. People are like, you're not supposed to work out every day. It's bad for you. No. You can take a day where you just
do yoga or something.
Yeah, do cardio, even yoga. The point is to dedicate minimum 20 minutes to your body
every day.
Every day. It doesn't have to be lifting heavy weights, because I agree. You're going to lift heavy weights every day. That's not going to go well.
No. I could do that. It's easy to work out every day when you're not drinking.
Yes.
Because you never hungover.
True.
So, well, good luck with that.
Good luck with all that,
Good
buddy.
luck with that. We're going to see Race, like, the 4 episodes or 5 episodes in January. He's just going to get, like, chiseled her and chiseled her and chiseled her.
Just coming all buff.
Yeah, I know. There we go. It'll be just all neck, all trap.
Right.
Traps with new biceps, bro.
I'll just have, and I'll adopt a whole new attitude. Bro, we should call it Knights of Influence,
Yeah,
you know?
right. Joust. Yeah, all right. We'll have we'll do push-up thoughts instead of stoner thoughts.
You want to arm wrestle real quick?
Yeah, dude, arm wrestle. Yeah, I arm wrestle this guy one time. He's a cowboy, and I totally broke his arm off. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
Okay,
but don't ask him. He'll probably just deny it.
Yeah, totally deny it. Puss.
Whatever.
Puss.
So did you follow any news or any stories during the holiday break?
Dude, I stuck my head in a bottle of wine and I didn't pull it out until this morning.
Good. Good for you. Yeah. Already prepping for Manuary.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to ask, man, I don't know if you saw the story. You probably didn't. But what the hell is Kevin Spacey doing?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. You just were letting me know a little bit about it this morning, about the fact we're going to talk about this because that's what we do. But I have heard nothing about this. You're going to get a clean reaction from me right now.
Okay.
So this is Lloyd's reaction to Kevin Spacey.
So Kevin Spacey was recently charged, like officially charged with indecent assault and battery for something he allegedly...
Alleged no collusion.
No collusion. Did in Massachusetts in 2016. He allegedly met some 18-year-old, bought the 18-year-old a bunch of drinks, trying to get him drunk, and then allegedly stuck his hand down the 18-year-old's pants.
Okay.
So,
a boy or a girl?
A boy.
Okay.
So
not that it matters, just curious.
He faces, right.
Just like Kevin Spacey.
He faces up to 5 years in prison for this, because he's being officially charged.
Okay.
Now, this is not the only thing he's been accused of, but this is him getting officially charged. Now, on that same day, he puts out this really crazy video on YouTube, and he's like in character as Frank Underwood, the guy from House of Cards.
Yeah.
And it's very cryptic. Like we gotta watch part of it because
this is not coming from the Netflix people. This is not sponsored.
It doesn't seem like it.
All right.
I mean, if this came from Netflix, then Netflix. Because
on the
insane.
Netflix show, they just straight up killed him. Spoiler alert. He's just dead. Like they're like he's gone. Like they
just didn't even have him back.
No, he's just dead. I think I didn't even watch how he died, but like they're like going on without him. I think it's more about his wife this year or whatever. But like that's not even really a spoiler alert. Like if they have another season of that show, it's not like they're gonna recast him or like say anyway. So yeah, I'm bracing for what I'm about to see.
Okay, it's just bizarre. This whole thing. Yeah, title of the video is "Let Me Be Frank,"
and he's watching it.
I know what you want. Oh, sure, they may have tried to separate us, but what we have is too strong, it's too powerful. I mean, after all, we shared everything, you and I. I told you my deepest, darkest secrets. I showed you exactly what people are capable of. I shocked you with my honesty, but mostly I challenged you and made you think. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't. So we're not done, no matter what anyone says. And besides, I know what you want. You want me back. Of course, some believed everything and have just been waiting with bated breath to hear me confess it all. They're just dying to have me declare that everything said is true and that I got what I deserved. Wouldn't that be easy if it was all so simple? Only you and I both know it's never that simple, not in politics and not in life.
All right, I can't watch anymore. It doesn't really get much different than that.
How long does it go?
It's only for like a minute, maybe a minute or two. We don't need to watch any more than that because it's not revealing anything. It's all very cryptic. It's all very like they would have you believe that I did something wrong without any trial or conviction.
I kind of loved it.
Oh God, You're part of the problem, Lloyd. All right.
I kind of loved it.
Because he was declaring his innocence without actually declaring his innocence?
Like a best offense is a good offense, I guess. Like what else? I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of ballsy, I guess. Like
it's ballsy, borderline stupid.
I know. I just sort of like what, like, I don't know that I'm just like, okay, all right, let's do it. He's like, I'm not going out like this. I'm going to do it like this character from Netflix, this awful character from Netflix. Wow. I don't know why I liked it. Let me process it. Just,
I don't know why you liked it either.
I don't know. It's just, first of all, it's entertaining and it's like, it's kind of brilliant. It's kind of a brilliant move of him to say something about the situation through the eyes of a character that's evil. And it's like, you know how we had those apology videos that are so terrible to watch, where it's like someone crying and they're getting the good take of them crying. This is almost him speaking to the topic, but in a way that he can do it more down, like more honestly almost. But if he said it as himself, it would be weird and like hat in hand. But as this character, it's almost like fingers up to the world. But I don't know. I mean, it's still tough what he did. It sucks what he did. I'm just saying this particular video is kind of a strategically interesting move.
But he didn't really say anything.
Yeah, he did.
He wasn't.
Things aren't as. He said things aren't as black and white as they appear.
If you're gonna be a character, I feel like if you just play that, just go all out. I was never in a bar in Massachusetts buying an 18-year-old boy drinks trying to touch his penis. Like, just go for it. Just completely deny all of it. But that was all very cryptic.
Yeah, it was. But, like, I think that would have been a lie, though. That would have been a straight-out lie that nobody would have believed. No one would believe if he just denied it outright. But what he's saying is there's more than meets the eye, apparently, is what he's saying. And he's saying it as this person. Where did he post this?
I think YouTube.
On his channel? Or
yeah.
How did it get? And obviously it's getting views. Like his last video, apparently his last movie got like just made no money, like literally no money in the theaters. So this is getting traction.
Yeah, I mean, it's in millions of views.
I mean, this has got to be.
It was on Google Trending. That's how I found it.
And what's the is it like liked or disliked or what? I wonder.
I can't remember.
It feels like inspired by the president. Honestly, it does. It feels inspired by the president. Like if there wasn't this president, I don't think he would ever have thought to do that. I think he's just doing that like, yeah, dude, I'm going to come at this face first. I'm not going to hide from this. And I'm just going to come out swinging, fingers up to the world if you want to judge me. Now,
you're blowing my mind.
I know.
So House of Cards comes out and has this ridiculously like weird, awful, but great politician of a character that inspires the president to then be a larger than life character who then inspires the actor who played that evil politician.
No, because Trump was president before House of Cards came out, wasn't
he?
No.
House of Cards is in like season 5.
Yeah, you're right.
House of Cards was Netflix's biggest, like their first big breakout.
Yeah, that was
that
right,
and Orange is the New Black.
Yeah.
So,
man, I really hope that he didn't, hurt somebody or assault somebody or do some really evil shit. I think probably he did, but I'm just saying this particular video is kind of a gutsy, brilliant strategic move.
Well, getting to the assault allegations, like I don't want to litigate what this guy's being accused of here on this podcast, but I will say this. I'm not convinced that the 18-year-old boy's charges are going to stick. I don't know if they're going to hold up in court.
It's tough. He's 18.
So he's an adult. He's 18. He is, it sounds like admitting that he had a lot of drinks that allegedly Kevin Spacey had bought him.
Right.
So the problem with admitting that you had a lot of drinks is that any point beyond that, during that night, the defense can argue, are you sure that's what happened?
Right.
Didn't you have a lot of drinks?
Right. And I bet you Kevin Spacey is going to have a nasty-ass lawyer, too.
Right. And do you remember the Kavanaugh Ford thing, the Supreme Court Justice hearing? The part of the reason why one of the only things she remembered was how many drinks she had or didn't have. She said, I had one drink.
Right.
Right? And she was very adamant about that, and that was a legal strategy.
Yeah.
Because had she said, "Yeah, I had 4 or 5 drinks," or whatever, or I don't, or even saying, "I don't remember how many drinks I had,"
then you're intoxicated.
Right. We'll have the defense go, "You don't remember how many drinks you had? You sure it wasn't 9?"
Yeah, and then if you can't remember how many drinks you had, how do you remember the details of the situation?
Exactly. So that's a defense move.
Yeah. I mean, this is the only kid who's come out and who's actually pressing charges or whatever, but apparently, like, there's more than this. Like
the star of Star Trek, the CBS Star Trek, I forget his name, but he said that Spacey like molested him when he was 12. Or I don't know if molested is the right word. Abused. I don't know the full extent of it.
Molested would be the right word.
And that was the one that turned all eyes on Spacey. And Spacey's response was, "Well, I'm gay," which was not the time to come out of the closet.
Right. Yeah. Fuck that guy, I guess. But sorry.
And the verdict is in.
Yeah. But the video, nonetheless, is. All right, we're making a
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, right. He already gets it. So, man, but what a crazy video. I'm gonna have to watch that later. I'm gonna have to go and watch that thing in its full. Like, does he come to any conclusion?
No. It doesn't get much different than what I showed you. It's all very vague.
Well, here's the thing.
It's like he's trying to act his way out of this whole situation.
Like, this is the thing. Like, there's a camera guy. Somebody had to do the lights for that video. There's like set up. There's like a set. Like, it's obviously well done. Like, what are the people in? Is it his son? Is it his buddy? Like, what is he? What is the crew doing in this situation? He's got makeup on, obviously. Like, how do you?
Well, you got to pitch that. You got to pitch that idea to several people because all of those workers are going to ask, "So what are we filming today?"
He's like, "I'm going to blow their mind. I'm just going to go out there and blow their mind. You watch this. I'm Kevin Spacey."
So what are we going to, I'm sorry, what are we going to do, sir?
Just stand there and hold the damn camera.
All right. When's lunch?
Somebody make me a cup of coffee. Somebody make me a cup of coffee and then turn this faucet on. I'm Kevin Spacey.
Oh, God. Yeah, because there are people there on set. Because he's not operating that camera himself. He doesn't know.
No, it was moving. It was following him.
Yeah.
It was following him. Yeah, that's crazy. And like, I think that must be his house.
Yeah.
But
if he rented a house to like shoot that in and
right, exactly.
It's like a union shoot.
Hi, we're gonna shoot a quick video for Kevin Spacey today on your lot. Hello?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh man.
I don't know. Something. I don't know what it's about. Something involving Kevin Spacey and some 18-year-old boy. I don't.
Yeah.
Something.
Remember dial tones? Half you people out there listening probably don't even remember what a dial tone sounds like. There's no dial tone on a cell phone.
You act like you miss it.
I know, right? Remember that? That was so fun. Or like the busy signal. Remember that?
Yeah. What would the busy signal sound like?
It was like dan dan. Yeah, right. Exactly. There's a rapper who does a rap over like the song that comes on while you're waiting, like the whatever it is, like call waiting song or whatever.
Yeah, like the music.
It's pretty funny.
Okay.
I think it's what the hell is that guy's name? Shit. He's a big kind of fat guy, white guy from New York. Action Bronson.
Oh, Action Bronson.
Yeah,
like Lil something.
Yeah, I know, dude. I looked on the top 100 chart the other day of like rap, and like literally 6 of the top 100 songs was Lil in the front, and they were all different Lils, like Lil this, Lil that, Lil this, Lil that. I couldn't believe it.
My theory is when you get to that level of rapper, it's really just this race of hobbits. Like they don't come from the normal human world.
Yeah,
so they're all pretty small.
It's just the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah. It's like, it's a conspiracy theory. You know how they say like Jews control the media or whatever?
I guess
Hobbits control the hip hop industry.
Yeah, hip hobbits.
Secretly.
Hip hobbits.
Hip hobbits.
Yes, you heard it here first. Hip hobbits. Yes.
Coming back from the Shire.
Yeah, right. I got hair on my toes.
Like when they bling bling, it's all Lord of the Rings. Like
Lord of the Bling Bling.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it. Wow.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. This Kevin Spacey thing blew my mind, bro.
I know it. Well, hopefully he gets what he gets.
Oh, I got an anecdote about that, by the way, really quick.
About Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey. I worked with an actor. I hired an actor like 5 years ago or something to do a thing. And we were having a conversation about it's one of those Hollywood secrets, like John Travolta's gay. In fact, I think that's what it was. Like, you hear little things on the circuit of like, yeah, such and such knows John Travolta and he's really gay or whatever. One of those rumor things. And we were just kind of gossiping about it or whatever. And he goes, and this actor was gay. And he goes, well, you know, Kevin Spacey's gay. And I said, Kevin Spacey's gay? How do you know that? And he said, because he propositioned me like 3 years ago when I was doing theater in New York.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, allegedly. Allegedly, he was doing theater, and Kevin Spacey is apparently a patron of either this particular theater or theaters in general. Mm-hmm. Came to see the show, came backstage, and was talking to some of the cast members, and hit on this guy that I know. And this guy was, I don't remember if he was under 18 at the time, but he was young. He was definitely young, and I was like, well, how did it feel? And he's like, well, a little gross, but also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Kevin,
some people like it.
Kevin Spacey, he's into me.
Yeah. I think I heard stories about Kevin Spacey being a super diva, even so far back as Usual Suspects. And like being, because he was like a
super diva.
Like a diva and like almost wrecking that movie in weird ways. So who knows?
Wait, no, you gotta go on.
Just he apparently like when he came out as being gay, it didn't surprise me. I thought everybody knew that because like I had just been, because we had lived here in a long time, and supposedly he had like mistreated people on the set of that movie as well.
Okay,
and so it didn't surprise me when he came out as gay. I was like, yeah, I thought everybody knew that. But maybe not.
Well, I'll tell you what didn't surprise me, and I probably didn't surprise you either, was the Harvey Weinstein thing.
Yeah.
I heard, you'd heard inside stories about that for years.
It was just like the way he is. Hey, that's just Harvey Weinstein. You have to deal with him like the old creepy Santa. You got to go sit on his knee if you want a part in this movie.
Yeah.
It's like some people say, okay, and they just go do it. And some people, the problem with that is 100 people say, okay, and they go do it. And one person didn't get told and they go in, then they're expected to do it. And then you have, like, it sucks all the way around.
Yeah.
But if you agree to it, then it sucks that he's abusing that power, but you're also agreeing to it. But he gets used to everybody agreeing to it, and then he doesn't stop when somebody doesn't want to do it. And you're like, yeah, you can't do that, buddy. So
what you're saying is some of those victims deserved it.
No.
Because that's all I'm hearing.
No, I'm not. Don't put those words in my mouth, Ray.
So I had heard, you hear these stories, and they're always like friend of a friend of a friend stories.
Yeah.
But I had heard that he was sort of courting some young actress. He was, she was going to be the next hot thing, and he was escorting her to a party that they were supposed to go to, which is already problematic. I'm going to be the next big actress. Let's go to this Hollywood party. Like, all right, yeah. I see what's happening here.
Yeah.
You cokehead. But anyway, on the way to the party, he's like, all right, we got to stop off at my place. We got to get something.
Oh, God.
And boy, did she get something.
Oh, boy.
So he takes her inside, and he goes into the other room to either get something or go to the bathroom or something, comes out, and he's completely naked.
Why would you...
Like this fat...
Yeah, that
walrus of a man.
This elephant seal of a man.
This manatee of a human being is just butt naked. And I guess the woman freaked out and left or went home or whatever. That story, that was like a friend of a friend story that I heard years ago before any of this came out. And the explanation was, well, that's just how Weinstein is. If you want to be the next it girl, you gotta be on his junk. So, that's horrible.
There's only two people thanked more at the Oscars than Harvey Weinstein. God and Steven Spielberg. He's the third most thanked person at the Oscars. Like, he's super powerful in the Hollywood world. Like,
makes you wonder what God made these women.
I know.
Lord.
God, I'm getting a lawyer.
I'm going to hell for that one. Anyway.
I'm going to a lawyer.
Yeah. No, he was very, very powerful for a long time.
Yeah. And probably still is behind the scenes. Did he go to jail? What's going on with him?
I don't think he's had a trial yet.
Oh, he's just
But
stalling?
I'm not up on that. Well, trials take a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not up on that so much, but I don't know. I think he went to rehab and came back and is like, I'm cured. Like that whole move. And I think people were like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
Probably, like, if you get accused of, sexual assault or rape and you're you work at a grocery store or whatever, like, you still go to work until you're convicted, unless they fire you. Like, he's still probably making movies behind the scenes. He just doesn't put his name on shit.
No, so I worked at a restaurant that we shall not name, Red Lobster.
Dude, those buttermilk biscuits, though.
One day, I came into work, and I had worked there for years, and the police are outside.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I go in for my shift, and the restaurant hadn't even opened yet. And I'm asking the other waiters, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why are the police here? And they said, well, you know that waiter? I don't remember his name, like Brian or something like that.
Yeah.
So like, you know Brian? Well, he took Shelly, the hostess, out for a date and apparently assaulted her.
Oh my God.
And not only did the police like show up to Red Lobster the next day and wait for him, so he came into his shift and they arrested him, but Red Lobster immediately fired him.
Right.
And that's the point I'm making.
So
it's like, I think most, especially a corporate policy for most of those grocery stores or restaurants, someone gets accused of that, they just fire them and distance themselves. She kept working there for a long time.
Yeah. I guess I think
he eventually got off too. That's what's interesting.
He did?
Yeah, I think it was like a probation thing, or I don't know.
I guess like Weinstein owns the Red Lobster. I guess that would be the thing. Like he's the guy who owns it. So I'm saying like he has his production company.
Sure.
And there's probably movies still going on underneath that production company. That would be my guess.
The Weinstein company was trying to sell after that, or they were trying to
they?
Break apart. And because they were, I mean, what are you going to do?
I mean, they just make movies under a different name. That's what you do.
If Mickey Mouse is sticking his fingers where it's not supposed to,
I'm just saying.
You think Disney is still going to?
I think that people will take money anywhere they can get it. And I think that the Weinstein company probably still had money because he's not guilty yet. They didn't like take all his money yet. I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I don't know. But that's my suspicion. Even if it's not listed, I bet you behind the scenes somewhere, he's still figuring out how to make some movies.
Sure he's still getting royalty.
Yeah.
That's for damn
for sure.
Legally, he is entitled to that royalty just by law.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take that away from
the way the law works. I mean, at some point, I'm sure they will.
We've gone down a dark
We
alley.
did get into a weird... Anyway, let's...
Merry Christmas, everybody. And, sexual assault.
And Happy New Year.
Oh, boy.
All right. When does a prank go too far?
You know how I feel about pranks, man.
How do you feel about pranks?
I hate that shit. I hate it. I hate it when you use somebody else as a part of your comedy that didn't ask to be involved. And especially if it's in a bad-natured way.
Right.
And if it's like I really love the Scary Snowman. That's like such a fun, good-natured, everybody laughs at the end. If you feel good after knowing that you were in the prank, then I'm more about it. But if it's one of those things where it's like the shock value just to get a rise out of people, it really is just like a dick move and a cheap move too, like just shock tactics.
All right.
I don't like it.
All right.
I don't like it. Old man Lloyd, I don't like it.
Get off my lawn, you
Get
damn
off my
kids,
lawn
with your pranks. All right. So there's a group of young influencers, a couple. They're a prank couple. They're called Team VZ. And I don't want to show you their video.
You don't?
I don't want to show you their video, and I don't, because I don't want to give them any more
views.
Yeah, I don't want to drive traffic in that way, although some people are eventually going to go look it up. But they did this video back in August, and it started blowing up, and then it started blowing up again, like it reviraled, I guess. In the last 2 weeks, which things do. Sometimes they have a second life as people are really trashing them. So apparently the girl in this prank couple is pregnant. And her prank was that she pranked her boyfriend and pretended that she had a miscarriage.
Ugh.
And she went all out. Like, she went to the Party City and bought blood, like fake blood, and like rubbed it on herself and rubbed it on the toilet seat. And was
awful.
like, baby, I had a miscarriage. And clearly the internet was not having it. Like, this was one of those things where they really pushed back.
I know so many people who have gone through that in real life.
It's a big deal.
It's a huge deal. As someone who doesn't have kids or really want them, even watching that, my friends go through that, like, brought tears to my eyes, because you start to love this person. It's like somebody dies. You know, that's just so disrespectful. I feel like you should get. That's the type of thing, I feel like you should get a strike for that in YouTube or something, you know, like some kind of, you should have to pay for that, you know? Like, imagine someone watches that who actually had a miscarriage, and then they get like, like, I hate the word triggered. I think it's overused and like fluffy and stuff. But I think like for that situation, you could totally put somebody through trauma by having them watch that. I just don't think it's right. It's just so cheap. And was it real or was it fake too? You know, because like half of those pranksters are all fake.
I don't know, but I will tell you, I watched their apology video because they made an apology video. It was more of a non-apology video. And I gotta say, this couple, their combined IQ is like still less than 100.
Yeah.
Like I had a miscarriage, watched them fumble this fake apology, and basically, they had this whole "you guys are just haters" attitude.
Oh my God.
And they're young. They're like, they can't be older than 20, 21.
And they're having a kid.
And let me remind you, they're about to be parents.
Right. And they're not, doesn't seem like, I mean, not that it really matters, but they're not married. Like, so there's no, they're not going to stay together or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, they're making prank couple videos together, so you know it's going to work out.
You should, what a bunch of tug jobs.
Yeah.
I can't stand
I don't, I'm not into the whole prank scene.
No.
I don't want to hate on it because, I don't want to knock everyone's hustle, just like, some people are going to knock mine and some people are going to knock yours. That's fine. But there's some things that I suppose they just cross a line. And that's one where I'm like, what are you thinking? I'm sounding like their parent or the parent they should have had. What are you thinking, son?
No, but that's like grounds.
What was going on in your dumb head?
Yeah. It's grounds for an ass whooping, honestly. It like really is. It's like sometimes you just got to smack the taste out of somebody's face. Just be like, what are you doing, man? Like, why would you think that that's okay? What part, like, are you that desperate for money that you will do anything? You'll literally do anything. And I don't buy that the guy didn't, like all those couple prank, they all know.
They're fake, yeah.
They're all fake. So that means the both of them thought about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if it was the dude who came up with the idea. Like, dude, this is going to be really funny. Do it, Claire, whatever her name is. It's probably Claire.
Claire. Well, I can't tell what's worse. Like being a shitty person and pulling that prank or faking the fact that you're that shitty and pulling that prank.
What do you mean?
Like, is it worse to actually be that shitty or is it worse to think it's cool to be that shitty for money?
Yeah, like some people thought it was funny, actually thought it was funny. Like,
no, I'm saying them thinking it was funny.
Yeah, I have no idea. That's the problem with when you push things so far. It's like, how much farther can you go? I was working for a studio that shall remain nameless, and there was this guy who pulled a prank. They went to a mall, and they what they did was, okay, so I have a camera, right, and I'm interviewing you, and you're the plant, like you're the regular person, you don't know what's going on,
okay.
Right? So I pretend that I'm interviewing you, and I got a camera on you here, and then there's a camera on me here, and then they set people behind way over here, and they were on like the 3rd floor of the mall or whatever, and they took a dummy, it looked like a real person, and they threw it over the balcony so that this person who was getting interviewed sees this happen. And then when it hit the ground, as this person's freaking out, they swap the dummy with a real person. So when this person goes, it looks like a real, and then they're filming this person. And this is like a big company funding this. It's like, what are you doing?
A reaction to a fake suicide?
A reaction to a fake suicide.
Jesus.
And they did everything they could to make it look real. And you're like, what on earth is going through your mind to think that you can impose on somebody's well-being in that way for your entertainment? That's like a crime to me.
Yeah.
What if this person had a heart attack because of that? What if this person fainted or hit their head on the ground or
ka-ching,
or you know what I mean?
More money, bro.
I know, that just drives me nuts. It's crazy. It's just crazy that that would even be on the table for discussion as a thing to possibly do it. It's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Dumb dicks.
Yeah, I think at some point you got to ask yourself, you got to stop and you got to ask yourself, all right, is this worth doing? And as a guy who has done a ton of stuff, I do a ton of different shit, sketch comedy and music and podcasts and all kinds of stuff. And I've been making online content for a long time, a decade, as you have too. I got to say, there are other ways to get popular than just being a piece of shit.
Yeah. Like, think of something creative, man. Look at the basketball hoop shot guys. What are those guys called? I can't. But they're so dude perfect.
Yes.
So creative. You know what I mean? Like, they're not like actors. They're not like comedians or sketch writers. They just came up their own way to do something cool, and now they're doing so well. And it's like, you know what it is? It's like, how does the video make you feel after?
Right.
If you're the type of person who feels good because you know somebody else is petrified for real, you're twisted, man. Weirdo. Like, go hang out with Kevin Spacey or something. You know? Like, god damn. I get riled up about that shit. I'm taking a drink for my coffee.
Yeah, you all right? I didn't mean to upset
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Miscarriages are a big deal.
It is. I know a lot of people who have gone through that, man. It's really sad. It's
people
like a really sad thing.
Like clinically depressed.
People
after
have
that.
they have services for the child. They sometimes bury the child. They'll have like a funeral. Some cases, like there's all different levels of like religious and all that type of thing, and what you feel about the whether you can, what it means when the baby's actually alive or not or whatever. But like, it's just a big deal. It's a big deal. And this is very disrespectful.
So YouTube has this sort of, I don't know, I call it an underbelly. It's like, YouTubers who shit on other YouTubers, and that's like their whole thing. And every video they make is about another YouTuber, and they're so negative, and they want to, such and such exposed. So that whole like community just really took this channel down to task. Like they really put them through the ringer. And for once, and I only watch bits and clips and little bits of people trying to take him down and everything. And for once, I was like, you know what? Good.
Yeah.
Good for you. You deserve all of this pushback.
Yeah, of course. Sometimes the internet is nice.
Sometimes.
Like it works. Yeah, but yeah.
Well, when you're like clout chasing like that, and you're doing anything like extreme pranks just to get notice, basically what you're doing is you're going, look at me, look at me, look at me. And you're shouting it out into the universe. Look at all this crazy stuff I'm going to do. Well, what happens when you do that is people are going to turn their attention to you. And guess what? Some of them are not going to like what they see.
Yeah.
And some of them are going to take you down. And in this case, I'm happy.
Yeah. It's like we used to have when we did the rap battles, and we still have the fans. We have really great fans on YouTube, and they acted like white blood cells. I always said, like, somebody would say some sort of hater comment or whatever, and people were like, well, how do you feel about the comments when people hate on things? And it was nice because the comments that were, constructive criticism, that's fine. But the comments that were hate for hate alone, everybody else in the community, all the other subscribers would just like attack it like white blood cells. We didn't have to do shit. It was great. I loved our fans for that. And that's why I feel like the internet is doing to this, like self-healing, self-attacking negative things that, like, if too much of that spreads, you become 4chan. You know what I mean? You become like wrecked videos over and over again. So good on the YouTube community for this.
Yeah. I mean, I do feel like that's kind of what you were saying. That's where society is going, hey, there's a line.
Yeah.
There it is.
You just stepped over it.
There it is.
Good for you.
I had a fucking miscarriage watching these people trying to fake apologize and calling everyone haters.
They did?
Yeah. The apology videos may be as bad as the miscarriage prank. It's really bad. It's really like,
pathetic.
Screw you guys.
Pathetic. And is that like, of course, that's going to be their biggest video now, I'm sure.
Yeah, by a lot, what I could see.
By a lot. And like, are the rest of their pranks, I'm almost
done.
She
did one. Apparently she did one afterwards where she pretended he really wasn't the father.
Jeez. I mean, isn't that every Dr. Phil episode though? You know what I mean?
I know,
like,
right?
That's just like that's like, daytime television is so bad. Like did you know that Maury is still on the air? Maury Povich.
Oh, God.
He's still on the air, that guy. How is that possible? How is that even possible that people still watch that stuff? And that's all those are is like, it's your mama, daddy, baby mama, cousin. It's like, I married my sister.
If your girlfriend or wife is pregnant and you suddenly get invited to Maury.
Yeah.
You better look out.
Don't go.
That's not good.
Spoiler alert.
I don't know how they even get people on at this point.
Yeah.
Because what are they like? Oh, I'm going to win a prize. Like Oprah gives out cars.
Yeah.
Maybe that's Maury's thing now.
Yeah.
Like, no,
you have
buddy.
an STD and you have an STD and you have an STD.
Buddy, you're about to learn she was sleeping with someone else about the same time.
Do you think those are even real people, or I think they might just be actors?
I think some of them. I don't know if they're like paid upfront SAG media actors.
Right.
But I do think a lot of them are playing up their story
Yeah.
just to get on TV.
Yeah. Easily. And they don't even get paid. They just love the attention. We forget living in LA. It's like we're always on camera and this, that, the other thing. That's not how the real world is, man. Like the TV is this unattainable magic box that you think that if you get one commercial, I remember my friends would say that. They would be like, if you get a commercial, dude, you've made it. I'm like, no, you haven't.
No.
That's kind of the perspective though. People be like my dad would be like, why don't you just call up Matt Damon and do a show with him? Like, you can't really do that, man.
Why don't you call up Matt Damon?
Yeah, it's classic. So anyway, F these people and F their dumbass pranks. Tug jobs.
When I was an exchange, it just reminds me of a story. When I was an exchange student in Spain, my grandfather and my younger brother were watching TV back in Oklahoma, and it was, they do that that running of the bulls every year.
Yeah, yeah.
And as soon as it came on, my grandpa was like asking my younger brother to look out for me. You see Ray in there? I was there running with the bulls. Grandpa, I'm here studying.
Yeah.
I'm a student on a completely different coast.
Right.
I'm not one of these maniacs who runs with the damn steer.
You know what that makes me think, though? That makes me think your grandpa definitely would have done that.
My grandpa would have the bulls would have run from my grandpa.
Yeah!
That son of a bitch.
Tough-ass grandpa.
Yeah, he was grit, true grit.
Yeah.
That guy.
Like old school cow people. I'm not afraid of no damn bull.
Yeah.
Imagine just that would be a funny Geico commercial or whatever. Just all the people running and just one dude just walking slow and the bulls being like, no,
we're good.
We're good. They just move around.
I'm just gonna stay in the pen.
My horn is kind of sore today.
Yeah,
and I'm
just gonna hang with the other heifers.
Yeah.
So let me tell you a little anecdote about my grandpa. I may have said this before. He this is how hardcore he was.
Yeah, hardcore grandpa.
He was probably in his 60s at this point, and he's out in the yard, front lawn, doing some yard work. And because that's kind of what he did. And a guy drives by on one of those motorcycles, like a Harley or something. And right when he passes my grandpa's near the curb because he's raking leaves or whatever. Right when he passes my grandpa's bent over picking up leaves, and that guy revs his Harley engine, and it startled my grandpa because it was super loud. Those things are really loud.
Yeah,
and
loud.
The guy laughed his ass off.
Right.
And my grandpa was so mad. Now, he was in his 60s. He was so mad that guy fucked with him. He went and got a sharpshooter, which are, those shovels that they use to break ground with the long head.
Okay, like
shovel
a spade, almost like.
Yeah. Like a shovel with a long head it's a sharpshooter, spade, whatever. He went and got it and carried it around with him while he was doing yard work because he was waiting for that guy to drive back by again so he could spear it into his fucking tire.
Did he do it?
No, the guy never drove back by again.
Jeez.
But I promise you he would have done it.
Yeah.
Because that's what kind of guy he was.
I got a grandpa story, too.
Go for it.
Grandpas are awesome. They saw the war. My grandpa, Lenny Giganti, my grandpa's the opposite of your grandpa. He was a Long Island Italian. He was born in Sicily, just classic, Italian New Yorker. But soft-spoken, my grandpa, very soft-spoken.
Okay.
But 9 brothers and sisters, they all worked together. He was a painter. So he's walking down his street, and he lived, and he lived on one house, 2 houses down was his brother, 3 houses around the corner was his sister-in-law. All these Italians live in the same block. Walking down the street, 2 kids at the end of the block, they walk up to him, pull a gun on my grandpa. Give me your wallet. He goes, bullshit. He turns around and walks home. He gets home, he tells, and the kids are like, you shoot him, no, you shoot him, no, you shoot him. And he gets home, and he tells my grandmother that. She's like, you're crazy. He could have killed you. They would have killed you. He goes, I'd rather die than get held up on my own block. It was old school pride. He's like, I'm not going to go tell my brother I got held up by a couple of teenagers on my block. I'd rather get shot in the back. I was like, Grandpa Lenny. I was the best, dude.
Old men.
Old man balls.
Yeah, I think they just came from a different generation. At some point, your capacity to give a shit is just gone.
Yeah.
Again, so another story. My grandpa, again, was in his 60s still.
Yeah.
Still doing this kind of stuff. My grandpa goes to the gas station, which he called the filling station. Because he's grandpa. So he goes to the filling station, and he's sitting there pumping his gas with one hand and smoking a cigarette with another hand.
Awesome.
A non-filtered Camel.
Awesome.
Because, again, different generation.
Yeah, those pussy filters. My lungs don't need that.
A guy pulls up next to him and gets out, and he approaches my grandpa in anger, and he's wearing a full like mafia tracksuit.
Oh gosh.
And the guy goes, "I'm gonna whoop your ass." And my grandpa had no idea why. He was just sitting there pumping his gas. But my grandpa said he had a gas hose in one hand and a cigarette in the other, and the guy was wearing a nylon suit. And he goes, "You better get your fucking ass out of here, or I'm going to burn you alive."
I'll go with you, too. I'll go with you. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'll blow this whole place up. And the guy left, and my grandpa goes in to pay for his gas, and the cashier goes, "What was that all about?" My grandpa goes, "Hell, I don't know."
So it was a loud enough.
He goes, "You're about to have a barbecue."
Old man, droopy old man balls.
He did not give a damn. Like he just didn't like being threatened, especially when he had no idea what it was about. I assume he maybe cut the guy off in traffic accidentally.
And it had to have been loud enough that the guy in the cashier heard it.
Well, I think he saw the approach.
Oh, right on.
I think he saw like the confrontation. And yeah, I'm sure when someone threatens to whip your ass, I think they shout it typically.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass. They call that tracksuit the Italian tuxedo.
Is that what that is?
Oh yeah, I'm basically wearing one now.
Oh god.
See?
I think just to make it even more douchey.
Yeah.
I think the one this guy was wearing was like neon.
Oh yeah,
it was because it was
looked
that
like
time.
He looked like Pauly from The Sopranos.
Yeah. It was like a neon tracksuit.
A point with 3 fingers, like this. The 3-finger point is basically the shocker. Funny.
Woo, grandpa
stories.
Do you remember? Of course you do. You remember Macaulay Culkin?
Of course.
Yeah. So man, he's another thing that had been trending this week. He did this whole ad for Google where he basically recreated Home Alone.
Oh yeah, good for him.
Yeah.
You know what? I think that kid is like, I mean, how many times do you think that kid's been asked to do like the thing? You know, like just might as well just cash in on it again.
Well, let's look at it really quick. The same house,
right?
Mom?
Oh, they cleaned him up.
Dad?
Yeah.
Hey Google, what's on my calendar today?
You have one event called House to Yourself.
It's whatever that Google thing is. That's what they're advertising.
Oh, he's gonna do it.
He's
gonna do it.
Hey Google.
No, he didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Okay, I'll remind you. Someone's at the front door.
What do I owe you?
Looks like you paid online.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Okay, cool.
Hey Google, turn down the temperature 2 degrees.
Guess you can't pay him enough money to do it.
Hey Google, begin Operation Kevin.
Operation Kevin underway.
The locks. Kevin Hart. What the hell is he doing? Funny.
Better get out of here before somebody sees us.
And they did like a Joe Pesci impression.
Right. All right.
Dude,
anyway,
he probably got paid $2 million for that.
Easy.
He probably got paid a bunch of money. Like, good for him, man. Good for him.
Yeah, without a doubt. It's funny he didn't do the hands on the face thing. Without a doubt, that was in his contract where he's like, I'm not doing that.
Dude, I don't care how much you offer me. I'm not doing it.
Not going to happen.
Either that or Google thought it was too cliche, but if they did the rest of that stuff, I can't see why they wouldn't.
Well, I saw that and I was like, oh, that's cool. You know, Home Alone. Because the thing with Macaulay Culkin is he was the highest paid child star in history at that time. I don't know if another kid has beaten him since then due to inflation and such.
Inflation.
But then he kind of just went, I don't want to say fell off the map, but he just kind of went normal guy. He's like, yeah, I don't really want to act anymore.
I mean, I think when you get that famous that young, it like, unless you really love the craft, it's not that fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Unless you really love it. Like, he did a ton of movies. It wasn't just Home Alone. Like, he was in a bunch of movies. And he did a couple when he got older. He did some indie films. He did one where he was in a wheelchair.
Saved.
Saved? Is that it? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think he just, like, anytime that kid wants to do a movie, he can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, a movie set is kind of like a drag sometimes. It's like, you sit around a lot, you know? It's not like you have a total control over the thing. So unless you really want to do it, he probably just wants to chill.
Well, I watched an interview with him, and from what I could tell, it's not the acting that he doesn't really want to do. Excuse me.
Don't cry.
Yeah, I'm going to cry. No, it's not the acting that he doesn't want to do. It's like the process of getting the acting gig that he hates, which I can totally identify
like the contract
with.
and the...
Well, he doesn't have agents, so he doesn't have to deal with them. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
I get it.
Right.
Agents suck.
Right.
They're the worst. He does, he doesn't really want to go audition. I think he just
I don't
does
think you would have to
movies with his
audition.
friends.
Yeah. I don't think you would need to audition if you're Macaulay Culkin.
It depends on what
they have
role
to
you're-
read to see how you sound.
Well,
Like
it
I
depends
guess.
on what role you're going out for.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if they're offering it to Macaulay Culkin and Shia LaBeouf,
Yeah.
he's going to have to audition.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, because they're both super famous.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a pain in the ass. I mean, agents are helpful in a lot of ways, but they definitely, their job is to sort of argue for a living, kind of like lawyers. Most good agents hopefully are lawyers on some level. So shout out to my agent. Thanks.
Oh God.
Just joking.
Well, he had a hard life, man. I mean, he had whatever $30 million by the time he was 10, but he also went, he had to get emancipated from his managers / parents.
I know. That's
At
sad.
16.
And his brother is an actor too. His younger brother. Now.
I think both of them are actors.
I didn't even know he had two brothers.
I think he has more siblings than that. But there's Kieran and then there's Rory.
Yeah, and one of them's on an HBO show right now. I think there's an HBO show or a Showtime show or some sort of like a serial drama. And the Macaulay Culkin's brother is a star, so he's still working.
Yeah, who was the kid from Scott Pilgrim?
I don't know.
Anyway, I think it was. I think that was that Rory.
Was that a Macaulay Culkin brother? Was that a Culkin kid?
The Culkin. It was the roommate of the lead of Michael Cera. Michael Cera's gay roommate.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, good for him though. He probably, honestly, like, I don't think you do a commercial like that unless you maybe need money, and I'm sure everybody needs money from time to time. Like, once you get all that money, you the level of spending goes up. You know what I mean? And there's like stuff. If you buy a house, you still have to, like, you buy a house and you own it, but like, you still gotta like pay for a gardener, or pay for whatever, or pay all these things, and like that doesn't go away. You have to kind of continue to bring income in. So. But God, that kid, every Christmas, he must get a bump in money because people just watch that movie over and over.
Definitely. He definitely still gets royalty from that. But and here's the funny thing, he's like, he'll show up in a random YouTube video every now and then, like not even necessarily one that he produced, although I think he does make some, but people that I don't necessarily recognize. But that's not saying much.
Yeah.
But he'll just kind of show up in one and like be a guest. And it's clearly stuff. It's not like the top. It's not like Logan Paul shit, or it's not like the top people that you would think that people would go to when they want to collab. So it's clearly stuff that he is personally interested in.
Yeah.
So his life, from what I can tell, is just being a millionaire, acting whenever he wants,
doing cool shit,
and just like, I'll just be in a YouTube video every now and then.
He also was in a band. He was in some sort of
He was in a
only covers of like Devo or some kind of band.
No, it was no, what was it called? Deep. Damn it, I can't.
Infozec?
No, Velvet Underground. That's what it was. It was a Velvet Underground cover band, but it was all pizza related stuff.
Yes, Pizza Underground.
And they got like booed
that?
off stage at
Did
one
they really?
point. Yeah, I mean, because there's only so much audience for that band.
Velvet Underground. I mean, who is that? The Humpty Hump? Is that like?
No, that's Digital Underground.
Oh.
Velvet Underground's classic.
Yeah.
I could probably rap that whole song, but I won't.
Yeah, funny. Shock G.
With the big nose?
Yeah. He put on Tupac. He's the guy who discovered Tupac.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yep.
Wow. But yeah, I can't tell if Macaulay Culkin lives. So I can't tell if the way Macaulay Culkin lives, at least in my perception, is kind of like, oh man, you're a good actor. You're wasting your talent by not going out and doing the stuff. Or if it's this whole other side of it where I'm like, that's gangster as fuck, where you're just like, yeah, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to.
Yeah, he's almost like a parody of himself at this point.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't claim to be some sort of super indie artist, actor-y person. He probably really just doesn't like it. He was a kid who just struck it huge. You know what I mean? Like just hit the jackpot. Was that his first movie? Like,
no.
What was his first movie?
I don't think so.
He probably was in a couple little commercials here and there and this, that, the other thing. And then just bam.
I mean, the whole family acts so that, or at least the brothers do, so that suggests
maybe
the parents and the parents were managing him for a while.
Yeah, how sad. Hopefully they mended their issues. And
well, he comes across now like a very sort of collective, down to earth guy.
He comes across as somebody who's been through a lot of therapy.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing.
No,
that's not a bad thing.
He seems very. I saw him on an interview recently on a late night show. It was like Fallon or one of those, and there wasn't even any reason that he was there. It was just like hey, let's just have Macaulay Culkin on. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
He wasn't promoting anything, I don't
Right.
think. He was just kind of there. So
That's what I'm saying. That's the life he lives. He's like, yeah, I'm bored this week. I'll just go do somebody's podcast.
Yeah.
And he'll just do it. I think he's gangster as hell.
gangsta. Macaulay, if you want to come do the podcast, you can be our first guest.
Oh, that'd be cool as hell.
Yeah.
I would make a new window.
Yeah.
A third window here for Macaulay Culkin.
You can come, hang out, and get yelled at by my dogs.
We might make him do the hand on the face thing.
Oh, God.
Sorry,
Could you
buddy.
imagine? We'll just actually spray him with mace. How you like me now?
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
You don't want to do it?
That's got to be our gimmick. That's our thing, man.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, we spray people in the face with mace.
Come on.
Okay.
You know what time it is, buddy.
Stoner Thoughts. Here we are, December 26th, Stoner Thoughts. This is when we do what? Shower type thoughts?
Yeah, it's sort of shower thoughts that we pull from the internet that are, I don't know, something you'd probably come up with if you were stoned.
Super stoned.
You can play along if you want or not. Or you can go fuck yourself.
You could throw yourself off of a bridge.
We should be like what was that restaurant that used to clown on the guests?
Oh, Dick's
Dick's or something?
Last Resort.
Yeah, we could be
Yeah.
the Dick's Last Resort of podcasts where we just curse out the audience.
Yeah. Thanks for coming, douches.
Yeah, don't come back, you bastards.
Yeah. Have a great freaking day. I hope you get hit by a whale.
Here we go. Okay, let me get
Stoner Thoughts.
Historian 10,000 years from now will find the remains of the Disney castle and think people in Florida worshipped a mouse.
Well, that's so true.
Whoa!
That is if we'd had like an apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
And then like it was all, and then we slowly worked our way back, and then they discovered this was the height of a civilization. They would think that we had some weird fantasy about a fucking mouse god.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the pyramids were. Maybe the pyramids and Ra and all those heads of
Osiris.
Osiris.
Yeah.
Maybe Osiris was just a theme park
It was
in
their
ancient
Disneyland.
Egypt.
Whoa!
Whoa! We did it! We did it! We figured it out.
That's all it is. They weren't worshiping anything.
Maybe the pyramids were just a giant space mountain, and all of the wood just went away.
Oh my God! No, Osiris was just their version of Goofy.
Yeah.
Yup.
Yeah. We have just figured out history right here on the Kings of Influence podcast. Holy crap.
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh.
We got another one?
Stoner Thoughts.
All countries are completely fictional and only exist because we believe they exist.
Whoa. Yeah, there's like no borders for real.
No, we just made them up.
We just made that shit up.
Yeah.
But somehow everybody abides by it.
Yeah.
Even it's like a universal thing that everybody believes in is like boundaries.
Well, you know what happens when they don't agree where the border is?
You
They
get
go
conquered.
they go to war.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually someone agrees.
Yeah. You will agree.
Or you'll be dead.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
Stoner Thoughts.
All living Russian roulette players are undefeated. Whoa.
Well,
Oh no. You gotta find a loophole.
you could be in a coma. You could be there are people who get shot in the head and live. Oddly enough. They get shot in the head and somehow they don't die. I don't think they're quite the same after, but they do live. So they're potentially loopholes. Or there could be a misfire. But maybe does that mean you lose? If it's a misfire, do you lose?
Oh, that's a good, like if the gun
Goes off.
backfires or something like that.
Yeah, or if it's like a blank. Could you imagine Russian roulette with blanks?
I think everyone who plays Russian roulette is a loser.
I think you're right.
Okay. That's my stoner thought.
Yeah. What if you just played white Russian roulette and you just had to take a drink
Just
of the
get
right
drunk?
Russian?
You never actually bite down. You always bite up.
Oh,
Whoa, you do.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
guess
the way
you
the
could-
human jaw works.
I guess you could kind of
Yeah, like
look like a moron biting down.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's true.
yeah.
How are you gonna bite down?
That's true.
You bite up.
You bite up. All right.
My mind is blown. I'll be thinking about that one for weeks. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and be like, baby,
No.
you don't bite down, you bite up.
I just I'm not gonna make any comments on that at all.
Okay. What? What
Talk
I
about
say?
biting on things when
I
you
don't
talk to your baby,
understand.
like, baby, you shouldn't be biting anything.
I don't understand.
Anyways,
Bite up.
you shouldn't be biting. There's no biting in what we're doing here.
Stoner Thoughts.
Putting files on your desktop is the digital equivalent of throwing your clothes on the chair.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
My
horrible
desktop
about that.
is awful.
My desktop is.
I don't know why I just don't erase everything. Like, I never use it. I just,
Like-
in the back of my mind, I'm like, I might need it someday.
If there were like a crack house equivalent, or a meth head's car, that would be my desktop.
Yeah.
It's completely disorganized.
Yeah.
Horrible. I mean,
Yeah.
but in my head, I'm like, no, it's all right here so I can search for it.
Yeah. Apparently, it slows your computer down if your desktop is really gummed up.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. It's like the first file. Like, my literal desktop right here is kind of.
Oh, your actual desktop? No, my
it's not
actual stuff
great.
is usually clean. It's the
the
yeah,
digital.
the digital stuff. I can't do it.
Stoner Thoughts.
When AI takes over the world, there will probably be a PETA-like organization for the preservation of humans.
Ah!
Whoa.
Whoa. Like Planet of the Apes.
PETA.
PETA.
Yeah, exactly like Planet of the Apes.
Like that one female monkey who was like, no, they're good. Let's study them. And then they fell in love with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but nobody loves PETA, so
Yeah. Every time you say PETA, I just think of like a pita chip. Now I'm hungry.
I think of the way Peter Griffin says his own name on
PETA.
Family Guy. PETA.
PETA.
Hey, Lois.
People actually talk like that in Rhode Island too. Like that's
Yeah.
where they're supposed to be from, like Quahog or something like
Yeah,
that.
Quahog, Rhode
The
Island.
accent out there is phenomenal.
Can you do it?
I mean, it's just like Peter Griffin. It's like just like that. Like, no, I can't totally do it. I can do a Peter Griffin impersonation.
Can you
Hey,
sell me a
Lois,
car in that accent?
What we got here is a 4x4. It's a lot of trunk space. You could put 4 or 5 dogs in there. Yeah.
How's the carburetor?
The carburetor is great. It's you take it down the 405 and you could really let it loose. It's great. It's wicked fast.
Sold. Sold.
Oh boy.
Stoner Thoughts.
Some Jedi apprentices probably tried to masturbate with the Force.
Ah!
Whoa! Yes.
Oh, I think.
They did. You can't deny it.
Or what's the other one where it's even worse? Where it's like that thing that they do in Matrix. In the Matrix, when he's like, I think, or maybe it was like the second Matrix when like he like gives a girl an orgasm with his mind from across the room or whatever. Like use the Force to like tingle somebody's genitals.
Yeah.
That's kind of assault, right? That would definitely be assault.
Yeah, it'd be like mental assault.
Aggravated mental assault.
That's a thing.
That's a thing.
Wow.
What-
And
what-
even you talking about it is bringing on the
I know. Here come
the police
the cops,
sirens.
The cops.
You guys can't hear it.
Yeah, they would use the Force, or like if you had phone sex and you had the Force, that would be a whole different thing, huh? You could just actually do it to each other. Does the Force work through a TV screen?
Has to.
Has to?
In my fantasy world, it does.
Oh yeah, because Luke Skywalker in the last one did it like oceans away or whatever from his little floating chair.
Yeah. I think the TV screen in between is irrelevant.
Yeah,
It's all about where can you focus your mind, bro.
right, bro.
Get
right.
with the times.
Okay, bro. Does that mean I have to watch that shitty, awful Star Wars movie again? That last one.
Which one?
That last one.
Awful. You talk about Solo or
No, Solo is good. Solo
See,
is
I
good.
didn't like Solo.
See, they got Chewbacca right, and that's all that matters.
Oh, that's all you care about?
Yeah, the other one they besmirched the name of Chewbacca with that stupid scene where he eats I don't know,
That little turkey,
that turkey,
porg?
yeah, that little monster thing.
Yeah, porg.
What's it called?
The porg.
You know the name?
P-O-R-G. Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah. Look, I don't have kids. I don't plan on having any, so I spend my time doing other stuff.
How did you commit that to memory?
What, porgs?
Yeah.
Because here's why. Because Kelly and I were at Disneyland one day, and in the Star Wars section, we saw that they were selling the Disney mugs or the Star Wars mugs, those hand-painted mugs that she collects, and there was a Star Wars creature that we didn't recognize, and it was the porg. And it's because the movie hadn't come out yet.
Oh, okay.
And they hadn't even really started advertising it yet. But if you go to Disneyland, you can get the toys of the characters before the movies come out.
Oh, wow.
And so you can kind of be like, oh, this character is going to be in the upcoming movie. So you look at these characters and you try to go, okay, what's this going to be? What's that going to be about? And you look at these porgs, and what we had decided was that those porgs were sort of an access point in these movies. They were like the cutesy kind of sidekick.
Yeah, the gateway.
Yeah.
They're
Baby Groot.
Yeah, they're the Ewoks.
Yeah. Yeah, so that you look at them and go, "Oh, that's so cute."
Yeah.
And it really brings you into the movie because you like them so much you want them to see it. I was like, yeah, well, that's going to be the porg. They're going to be adorable.
But they didn't. It was corny and hack. And then like when Chewbacca like was eating one and the other one was like giving him the doe eye or whatever, you're like, that's so corny. Some part it didn't pull me up. I can feel Info Zach's eyes on me now.
I like the porg. I didn't mind the porg at all.
I
knew they were going to be adorable. And I went in and watched it, and I felt like they were adorable. Now, that's not my favorite Star Wars movie by any means. In fact, I watched it a second time and liked it a lot less.
Yeah. Does not hold up.
No, it didn't hold up. And I don't understand why Laura Dern was there. I mean, I understand she's an A-list
And Laura
actress,
Dern's neck.
and she's great. Her neck is great. I met Laura Dern, and she's the nicest woman in the world.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Name drop. No, I met her for like 5 seconds. She's wonderful, but she really took me out of that movie. The same way that Woody Harrelson took me out of Solo.
Yeah.
It's like you put A-list actors in these movies, and I recognize them, and it takes me out of the movie.
Yeah, because they represent something that's from our world.
Yeah.
You know, that's the nicest thing about like breaking new actors is that like that becomes that person to you. Anyway, we've strayed into this tangent of Star Wars. This tangent is as deep as a Sarlacc pit.
Hey,
Name drop that.
I don't get that reference.
I know.
I don't understand.
Giant butthole in the sand.
So, brother, there's undoubtedly weird stuff on the internet.
Yes.
Okay? And sometimes in the world of influencing and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, things pop up that just blow me away that they're popular. Okay?
Okay.
So, apparently, pimple popping is a huge industry now. Like, this is a thing.
I can't do it. I don't understand. I've made the mistake of like Google searching something and or like you just stumble onto something like that and you're like, oh God. Or like something will like just come up in your feed for some reason. And that is just baffling to me. That's the most disgusting thing I could think of like for me, it would be hard enough to be like a dermatologist and to have to do that like as a job. And what would make you decide like, that's what I want to do with my life? I'd like to pop zits on people's face for a living. But like, I guess I guess it's sort of satisfying, like on a personal level or whatever, when you're alone in your bathroom with the door locked, as you should be when you do such things.
Do it in private.
To put it like, what do? Do they put out ads like, hey, if you got a really big zit, give us a call? Or like,
no.
Do they grease their face up so it gets worse and then they have more, more material?
So the best example I found is this internet personality. Her name's Dr. Pimple Popper. Okay,
that's like my least favorite word.
She's she's a doctor. Her name's Sandra Lee, and she's got 2.5 million followers on Instagram, 4.5 million followers on YouTube.
Oh my God.
And she doesn't just pop pimples. She looks at cysts and all kinds of stuff. And she legit puts out, from what I could count, about 15 videos a month. And most of them that I saw were her like popping someone's pimple. And because what she does is that she offers like discounted treatment in exchange for letting her record.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, she comes across a little bit as a personality. You know, because she's a woman. She might be in her 40s. I don't know.
Yeah.
She's an accomplished person, and she comes across that way. She doesn't come across as like, oh, I'm desperate for attention or whatever.
Right.
So that's good. She's got that going for her.
Okay.
She's killing it right now.
She's killing the pimple game.
She's destroying the blackhead market. Like killing it. She apparently got a show on TLC this year.
Oh my God.
From it all, called Dr. Pimple Popper. This is a big industry.
That's
and
crazy.
the craziest part to me, like, she has fans because she's got good camera presence, right? But there's another part of me that thinks like, okay, if you're a fan of her work, what are you sitting there, like, what are you waiting to happen? You're like, oh, I wonder what she's going to do in the next video. You know exactly what she's gonna do.
It's and like how do they make that a whole TV show? Do they like build up? Is it like one versus the other, or like what do they build? Is there like a ceremony they do at the end to make it like pay off?
I mean, it's a reality show. I don't know.
It makes my skin.
I think they pop it at the end.
Ugh, God.
It's like 21 minutes of build up to popping it.
You know what? I've seen a guy. I've seen chiropractors with similar channels where they crack people's back.
Yeah.
And like they get. Actually, a friend of mine was in a video, and her episode got really popular. Like there was a couple million views on this thing of like cracking her back and like cracking her neck, and maybe it's similar to that of just like sort of satisfying release, in some sort of release of tension kind of way. I don't know. But that's just so gross to me. Ugh!
Yeah, I was going to show you some examples.
No.
But I decided not to.
No. Oh, God.
I decided not to because, of all the things you could be into on the internet.
Right? I mean, that does suck. I mean, it's nice that there are people out there that help because having acne, I remember as a teenager, I went through the normal amount of acne that anybody had, but it was really embarrassing. I really hated that part of being a teenager. It was like, I don't know. It just very unsightly. You know what I mean? You can't really do anything about it.
You were the pizza face kid?
No, I wasn't that. I wasn't bad. Everybody has acne a little bit when they're a kid. I think. At least I thought they did.
I didn't.
Not at all?
No, I never.
Freak.
It's on my ass now. No, I've never been like an acne guy, thank goodness.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't have, not as bad as most people, or maybe not as bad as a lot of people, but certainly to some extent. And it was like, you can't really, you got to walk around high school with this stuff on your face. You know what I mean? You can't, as if high school isn't hard enough. You have to like go through it like that. Right. And there were some kids who had it bad, man. I mean, just some people have like, whatever the pH of their skin, or they're oily, or they maybe eat the wrong foods or whatever. Yeah, genetics. Like that's got to be hard.
I dated someone a long time ago who had, by the time I had dated her, she had like small scars under her cheekbones, and it's because she had to have acne laser removed.
Wow. Because
well into her early 20s, like it was like really bad high school acne, and it never went away, and she eventually just got it lasered off.
Yeah.
And she had easily had the cleanest face I had ever seen because I was close to her, and I saw that twice a day she would put like the special cleaning stuff on it, never touched her face, never ate food that would interact with it because it would like come back if she did. It was insane.
Yeah. All this talk about high school is making your voice change.
It is. I'm going through puberty again. I'm going to get acne.
Listen, do we have to have the talk? Listen, there comes a time in every man's life.
Well, here's the thing. If I go through puberty again, you can pop all my pimples and we can make a business out of it.
Oh, God.
We can be a pimple popping channel.
Oh, God. Pimple popping. Pimple, I think, is my least favorite word.
Why?
That or pus. I don't know, because it's just so vivid of an image that, like, it's just
you're 2 letters away from being a pimp.
Yeah, I know. And pus is, like, so close to something I very much enjoy.
Okay. Just destroy the joke there, buddy. Just destroying it.
I'm killing this pimple game. Yeah, well.
Well, congrats to her.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess she's not like faking that she had a miscarriage, so that's good.
Yeah, well, of course. No, everything she's doing seems legit. Seems like a legit business.
Yeah.
It's like odd, I guess, or it's unorthodox, I would say.
Yeah. YouTube, there's a place for everything in this broad online world that we live in.
Yeah, exactly. Miscarriage pranks, pimple popping.
Butt sniffing.
But that's a thing?
I'm sure. I don't know, but I imagine it's something. If it's not on YouTube, it's definitely on a porn site. The porn.
Can you look that up?
Butt sniffing?
Zach, I just want that to be in your search history.
Yeah, that algorithm's going to get
butt sniffing on YouTube.
There's definitely like armpit sniffing and like testing of like the degree of.
Like deodorant?
Yeah. Like there's like a famous photo of just like all these women sniffing these people's armpits.
Yeah, but is that like a monetizable thing where an influencer attaches his or her face to it?
No. Well, maybe.
Oh God. Okay, Zach's laughing. What did you find?
No. I mean, there's definitely a lot of searches for it. Things coming up like butt sniffing equals trouble. Can I sniff your butthole? Japanese butt smelling game show.
What? Yeah, the whole game show.
Yay for Japan.
Yeah, it's deep.
It's a thing.
My butt sniffing days are deep. Oh man.
Well, that's the thing. It could be a whole thing. You do a little vlogging, you sniff a couple of butts, and that's a video.
That's what my dog does. That's how they say hello. People are just leaving the live stream.
You're like, yeah,
just
I'm out.
jumping.
I'm sorry, I can't. You lost me.
I know. I'm getting dumber from listening to this.
Yeah, exactly. Damn it.
I know.
Damn butt
I know.
sniffing.
Hey, listen, if you guys want to get a text when we go live, I know this is just a little break, but if you're listening now and you haven't subscribed to the channel, do that. You can also send a text the word KINGS to the number 43506 if you want to get a little text when we're about to go live each week. Just thought I'd plug that now.
Woo!
Because we got fresh ears.
We got fresh ears. We got one more thing to talk about.
All right.
This gets back a little bit into the political realm, a little bit.
Okay.
So, Facebook, and I just want to get your take on this, because Facebook and YouTube and some of these platforms have been accused for the last couple of years of silencing conservative voices.
Yeah.
And it's a tricky thing because we'll call them enforcement errors, happen all the time. Our channel got taken down for a couple of days.
Yeah.
We don't even know why.
That freaked us out. I remember
Still
that.
don't know why.
Yeah, it tripped something.
And we don't do anything that would trigger anything like that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that stuff happens. Now, the funny thing is, if you and I were a hyper-conservative channel and that had happened to us, we might immediately be like, well, it's because we're conservative.
Right.
It's because they're biased against us.
There's certainly like the whole Alex Jones thing, and he's not conservative. He's sort of just crazy.
Right.
But there's a couple of other guys that have gotten taken down. Not Ben Shapiro.
Is it Crowder?
Yeah, no, he's still on, but like I think sometimes they get flagged faster.
Yeah.
Because people flag them. I think they're like, oh, they get upset and they flag them because they're I think there's something about the conservative POV right now really sets people off and they attack it. It's almost like bullying in a way, in a bad, I don't agree with anything those folks say usually, but I definitely think they have the right to say it. I just really, I think that it's being labeled as hate speech.
Right.
Is what I think is it's doing. And to some extent it's true, but to some extent it's just so hypersensitivity right now.
Yeah.
Because of current events in 2018 and all that stuff.
So is it the algorithm, or are conservatives actually more prone to hate speech? And that's not to say that all conservatives practice hate speech or anything like that.
Right.
It's that do conservative viewpoints fall into hate speech more than progressive viewpoints?
Well, I think it's tougher to defend.
Yeah.
I think it's tougher to defend a conservative perspective on those topics because, usually the what they're talking about is, stronger borders and keeping our country what it is, and that is the flip side of that is just open it up to everybody. And even if you're talking about those borders, it's hard to confuse that with hate speech, but it's even harder to confuse let's let everybody in with hate speech. So it's just harder to defend. They're more prone to it.
And when you look at things from like this weird dichotomy, so let me put it this way: if you say something kind of crazy like, "I want all Mexicans in this country. I want them here."
Right.
That's kind of a weird thing to say. That doesn't, necessarily, I don't hear anyone saying that, but that wouldn't get flagged as anything.
No, right.
Right? Now, but the opposite is not true. If you said, I don't want any Mexicans in this country at all, period, that could get flagged as hate speech.
That could get flagged as racist and hate speech. Yes.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So it's basically like if you take these ideas to each extreme, one of them has a label, which is hate speech. The other one doesn't. The other one's just maybe kind of weird.
Well, they try to give it a label. They try to say it's socialist. Like that's what I feel like is the pushback of like, hey, want us to be a socialist or or like,
right. But socialism
or
doesn't
communist.
But those don't fall under like necessarily under hate groups in the way that, Nazis or some of these other things would.
Yeah. It's just the best that they can do to come up with an equally negative word, but it's not. It doesn't hold as much power by any means. I think here's the trouble with that is that I've already started, because I watch all kinds of stuff. And sometimes when you and I talk about things, I'll watch it. And definitely, like we were saying with Zach, it affects the algorithm. Mm-hmm. So I'm starting to get ads, like very conservative ads, and they play against videos that are sort of down the line, centrist, whatever we say we are, extreme centrists. Or,
radical centrists.
Radical centrists. But the ads are like, here's why Merry Christmas versus Happy Holidays is important to say Merry Christmas. And it's like, okay, man, this is kind of a shitty commercial. Or how wage inequality is a myth. You're like, all right, but this is still kind of a shitty commercial to put. But what's going to happen is if they keep on shutting that stuff down, and I've already started to see it, other VOD platforms and other platforms are going to start to emerge. So I've already started seeing like the extreme right version of YouTube, where it's Crowder and Shapiro and all these like a Fox News, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you're going to have, so pretty soon YouTube is going to be the equivalent of like a CNN, and you're going to have something else that is like the home of, that perspective.
Right.
And I think it's already started to happen.
Yeah, but is that a bad thing necessarily if they had a sort of conservative YouTube?
I don't think it's a bad thing, but you're creating your own competition then. Business wise, it's not a great thing.
Yeah.
So if you're shutting one voice down, it's gonna find in this day and age, it's gonna find a megaphone somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's already started to happen.
Well, I hear you. The thing is, just getting back to the original point, if you're putting out content and it gets flagged by algorithms for possibly being hate speech, and you get flagged over and over and over again, I have a little bit of trouble feeling sorry for you. I really want to look and go, yeah, but okay, what are you saying that's constantly getting you in trouble?
Sure. Yeah.
And I want you to have all the free speech in the world, but at the same time, you're wanting free speech, and you're wanting it while you're in someone else's house.
Yeah.
And the owner of that house might have something to say.
Yeah.
About the things that come out of your mouth while you're there in his living room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Like I think you're right. I don't think it's a bad thing that they're choosing as a company to be like, no, we're going to crack down on this. I just think the result is you create your own competition. You create the other thing that you're trying to push against in a little bit of a way.
Be like a right-wing Facebook?
Yeah. It's like a right-wing. There's already something. It's already here. I've seen, that's what I'm talking about. I've seen these commercials for that thing.
It's just not that big yet.
Well,
that's so funny because, being in the Facebook world and the YouTube world, if you were to just read the comments, which I don't recommend anyone do, but if you were just to read the comments on random videos, you would think that the entire platform, both platforms, are quite conservative. And that they have a lot of issues with women.
Yeah.
They really come down hard on women on these platforms in the comments. A lot of angry dudes.
Lots and the angry ones are always the one who type. They're always the one who make the comment. Like I never comment really. Only, maybe a Christmas photo or something like that, but like I never like choose to air my grievances via the internet on a comments board. Like I don't get that. I mean, I guess I do, but there's a lot of I think we forget we live in LA, and it's like physically and metaphorically, it's the farthest left you can get in this country.
Yeah.
Maybe Seattle or Portland. But the country as a whole, even the liberal states are not as liberal as they are here. So they say you're living in like an echo chamber, but the overall average of the country is pretty down the middle, like pretty mid road. And so what looks like really conservative to us, in actuality, it's just our calibration is a little bit off, being here. So
yeah, but you can be conservative and not be angry dude.
Of course, yeah.
In fact, angry dude applies more to YouTube comments than it does Facebook comments.
I would say,
for me.
I would even argue that there's a lot of angry dudes are lefties. Like they're all the other side. I feel like it's gone too far where people are like, they're too, like, you can't say anything. You can't like ask for facts. You can't be like, what's the full situation? Can you tell me the whole story?
Well,
it's this like barrage of like shame and accusations and everything. And I think a lot of that's coming from the left.
Well, see, I feel like angry dude falls on the right and hyper offended falls on the left.
Yeah. Yeah. Or offended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
triggered or whatever.
Like the crybaby kind of thing.
Yeah.
That whole trope.
Or what's the other world? It's like retribution, like almost like revenge. Like I'm gonna get you for that. For the last 50 years of whatever, I'm gonna. Now it's your turn to take some of the suffering. It's like I don't think that solves anything.
I didn't contribute to any of the suffering. Leave me alone.
I didn't ask to be born. So
I guess to answer my original question, I don't think these platforms are intentionally silencing Like, I don't think it's a fucking conspiracy theory, which I never do. But I don't think they're intentionally going, you know what we're going to do? We're going to shut up some Republicans today.
Yeah, I hope not. I don't think that's the right thing to do.
I don't think so either.
Shutting down hate speech is one thing.
Right.
But like, why do they let them? But it's just a very, first of all, for that to be done by a computer is weird. You know, they say they have manual reviews, but like, that's impossible. Yeah. It's impossible for them not have a manual. It's like, they just probably filter it through a second step of whatever computer wash machine they have. But they shouldn't shut down voices that they don't agree with, but they should be saving people from dangerous things, hate speech. Like we were talking about TikTok last week, and how that's getting, like, they're predators on there, and to lure these children in, they have to be interacting with them in some way. So there should be some sort of filter there that prevents that. And I think YouTube could be the same way, where, you know, there's live streaming now, and, you know, conversations that are going on, anything that steers in that direction should be shut down immediately, you know? Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in this new world. We will see what
happens. Yes. So I think that's it, man.
Oh my gosh. We have to vote. Oh, this is so easy.
This is an easy one. Okay. So this is the same thing we do every week, where we crown a king
and a jester. So the best and the worst of the week.
Exactly.
And now they don't win anything except our love and adoration or our hatred.
It's a super easy one. So we have Kevin Spacey.
Yep.
We've got the couple who did the miscarriage prank.
Yep.
We got Macaulay Culkin, Kevin McAllister.
Yep.
We've got Dr. Pimple Popper. And then we have every platform in the world,
the YouTube world,
who is allegedly silencing conservative voices intentionally.
Yeah. I'm gonna shock you. I'm giving the king to Kevin Spacey for a brilliant tactical move. A brilliant tactical move done by a villain. Admittedly a villain, but a brilliant tactical move. Kevin Spacey for the win. And then obviously the jester is the miscarriage couple.
Okay.
What a dumb dick.
I agree with you on the jester. I'm going to have to push back on the Kevin Spacey getting the crown and go ahead and give it to Macaulay Culkin.
For living his best life?
For living his best life and just being like, yeah, I don't care. I just want kids.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do me.
I'm just going to do this commercial.
Kevin Spacey. Oh.
Hey, it's a brilliant tactical move. Brilliant tactical move. My money is on it changes the course of his future.
Is it gonna?
I think so.
Yeah, well, I think it's gonna change the course of his future, and I don't think it's in a good way.
Maybe you're just doing this for the entertainment.
100%. His lawyer didn't go, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, but his cameraman though, probably breaking up in laughter.
That's well, if you're making your cameraman laugh,
man,
that'll keep you out of prison.
Jeez, there's always a cameraman. Like, everybody has a cameraman, even when you're doing these awful things. Somebody's got to put it on camera, so people will do whatever for money. He probably just hired some guy off Fiverr or something.
Yeah, I wish he would have did it selfie style. That would have been funny.
Just holding it like this.
Yeah,
like Mr. Underwood or whatever. Crazy.
All right, guys. Well, that is our episode this week. Make sure and tune in every single week, Wednesday at noon, for your Kings of Influency goodness.
Yeah, we're here every week at noon, like Ray said. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do, and hit that little bell. It'll give you a notification. And also, if you want to get a text from us, text the word KINGS to 43506 to get a notification when we go live. That is the end of our live stream today, so thank you guys very much for tuning in. We'll see you next week. I'm Epic Lloyd.
I'm going to cut Lloyd off.
Fun.
Woo.